Q on twice. Did you want to run the open or?
Cause I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing them mic just like I ran a jewels in. Y'all gonna get done up frontin' on that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker for what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish what I started, I'm about that.
Top down like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high we see the whole city. We own the night. Down like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want a man I can bring the drama, but it ain't by chance I'm fucking rapping. You don't want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping like I'm starving. Yeah, y'all gotta ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high we see the whole city. We own the night. Down like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high we see the whole city. We own the night.
What's going on, everybody? It is a Friday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. We've got all our friends with us and a few more still to come. Quinn, keep an eye on the guests, please, and add them as they come in. DJ Yoakley here, the birthday boy over that way. And then, of course, you have Billy Mack. You've got Ty Bartell. Mick Nuggies is at the bottom. You've got Jamie Thompson, the voice of the Springfield Tigers, and Paul Munson. Guys, how we doing on this beautiful, beautiful Friday?
Friday the 13th.
Pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Where'd Quinn go?
He got disconnected. I mean, he was frozen.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's his birthday, so make sure if you're out there, you're chiming in and saying happy birthday to the Q man right there in the middle. Happy birthday! Can we sing happy birthday? Does anybody want to sing happy birthday?
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Let's do
Yes.
it.
All right, let's get everybody in here. All right, we got Romo and Richie. It's time to sing happy birthday to Quincy J. Pushkar. All right, here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Happy
birthday
to you.
Oh,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
That was like slow motion.
That was so out of sync.
That was the worst soundtrack in the history of history right there.
Billy didn't even want to sing.
Shocker.
He's muted.
Billy's muted.
I didn't mute him for once.
I had to reset everything. I
Oh,
couldn't hear nothing.
was that what it
Oh.
was?
Okay.
See if we sing to you
I,
on your birthday.
I texted Quinn right before you guys even started doing anything.
I was having technical problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was having those
Stupid.
technical difficulties.
Damn gingers.
Here's the trick.
All right, so
Say your
guys,
earbuds aren't working. You don't have to sing.
it is National Quinn Pushkar Day, of course, and we've already established that. It is also Friday the 13th. We've also established that. And then on top of it, Paul, what is it? National what day? Pudding Day?
Oh, there's two things. It's National Indian Pudding Day, and it's National Kindness Day.
Well, we know it's not Kindness Day at YSN because we're here to do battle. And I don't think there is such a thing. In 365 days, there's never a kindness at YSN. We are Indian Pudding Day, guys. I mean, because we don't know what the hell Indian pudding is, what is your favorite, if there is a favorite pudding out there? We'll start with the birthday boy.
I don't do pudding.
Shocker.
Gross. It's gross.
On to the Grinch next to you.
Probably like a dirt cake pudding. I would probably go that route.
Is that the chocolate with the Oreo crumbled
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Ah, I like that. Ty, what's yours?
Bread pudding for me, 100%.
Winner, chicken dinner. Jamie, you pudding guy?
Yeah, I'll just go with the classic snack pack, man. Can't go wrong with the snack pack.
The saddest snack in the history of humans is when you get to the bottom of that snack pack and you're just, it's disgraceful. It's terrible. They need to make them bigger. Paul, pudding?
Chocolate. Got to go with it. Chocolate pudding all day long.
McNuggies, we all know you love pudding.
Oh yeah, love pudding. Now, but in all seriousness, I'm with Quinn, not a pudding guy at all. But that would be a good addition to the study hall supermarket for Paul.
No, it's got to stay cold. You got to serve it cold.
It's got to be non-perishable.
Yeah. I can't. I don't have room in the fridge, so sorry.
That's where the good ones are. That's where the Mountain Dew and Lipton Brisk are. So, Richie, pudding.
No.
First off, big shout out to Don Files, who was just in the comment section. He's a big supporter of Canfield Athletics on ysnlive.com. So we're going to shout out Don real quick. But, yeah, I'm going to agree with him. Rice pudding is really good. Chocolate is also one of my favorites. I like any kind of pudding, to be honest with you.
Romo, this ought to be a good one. You're muted.
Don't tell.
Dummy.
Chocolate pudding, that's the only pudding I eat.
I like rice pudding is a solid. Bread pudding is good, but tapioca, I've learned to like tapioca a little bit more over the years. So tapioca is the winner in the Oakley house. So happy Indian Pudding Day. We just kind of went around the campfire and picked our favorite pudding. So hopefully nobody's mad at us because we have no idea what the hell Indian pudding is, nor do we really care. So happy Pudding Day to you, America.
Ty should care. It's a New England style pudding, so it's all those damn people in New England.
They threw a bunch of tea into the harbor, so what the hell good are they?
They're good guys.
All right, let's go to what the main event is tonight, guys. A show, 3-hour show. We didn't talk much about the what's at stake tonight. Warren JFK taking on Newark. We're here at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. I just kept calling it Paul Brown Stadium, but apparently that's in Cincinnati, so people were a little thrown off. So it's Paul Brown Tiger Stadium here in Massillon. The wonderful people of Massillon housing us for the night. We'll have the audio broadcast of the Warren JFK and Newark game tonight, 7 o'clock, and of course, prime time coming up at 5:30. Mike Ackelson, Nick Zeronis, myself, Steve Leslie. We will have that live from here and then live from the house of Mike and Nick because our plans got canceled this evening. So we apologize for any inconvenience there. Guys, I mean, we know what's at stake. It's a trip to the state championship. From your standpoint, how exciting is this for you to see one of the YSN teams represented on this Friday night? Quinn, go ahead, birthday boy.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. I mean, it's great. It's not only great just because it's YSN schools, but it's great for our area. You know, it's one of those things we get to hopefully bring home 2 state titles to the Youngstown area, and JFK's up first tonight, get the job done. And I mean, I'm excited to see just what they can do. You know, they're playing. I mean, the best 2 schools left basically after JFK is up there. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to hear you call it, and it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for it.
Mac, how excited are you for JFK?
Yeah, super. I got a chance to watch them this year and call one of their games with you. I mean, they're super talented, and I'm super excited. I think the Valley's very proud of our 2 teams left over. I mean, that's kind of, you hit on this a couple of days ago, but Youngstown's got like this weird thing compared to other, places across the state is like we really like mold together when it comes to like sports or anything really Valley oriented. So I'm sure all eyes are on tonight and tomorrow, but start off with a dub tonight and roll into tomorrow.
Ty, you've been a big fan of JFK from the outskirts all season. How excited are you for the Eagles tonight?
I'm super excited, man. And, like Billy said, for this Youngstown area, why not us? Everyone, when you talk high school football in Ohio, the first thing anyone talks about, the Cleveland area, the Cincinnati area. No, the Youngstown area has some really good football teams, and I'm expecting not just one, but we're getting 2 state championships out of this. So let's go Eagles tonight.
All right, Jamie, you have the pleasure and opportunity for tomorrow night. What are you looking for tonight out of Warren JFK?
I'm expecting a big victory. I mean, I'm sure everyone on this panel feels the exact same way. I mean, we're all local guys here, want to support our guys. JFK, that's one of our schools. And kind of like I said last week about Kirtland and South Range, to me, it always felt like JFK and Lima Central Catholic, if they can win this or tonight as well, they've been on a collision course this entire year. It's a matchup I've been looking forward to seeing. So hopefully Lima can win because we know JFK is going to.
Different sports when it comes to you, Paul, but you've been in a state semifinal before. What's going through the minds of the coaches and the players right now?
For the players, I mean, they're going to be a little excited. They're going to be a little anxious. You got to, coaches got to be able to calm them down. I mean, JFK, I mean, a lot of people kind of forget sometimes they were just there. I mean, they just won in 2016. So it's not that far off. Those coaches have been there before. And that's the great thing, is to be able to settle the kids down and be like, hey, listen, yes, this is just another game. And yes, maybe this isn't just another game. It's a chance to go to a state title, but you have to treat it like another game. I think that was a benefit for us. You talk different sports, baseball for us. Coach Hannick had been there before. He had coached with Ursuline, and they'd won a state title before. So he knew what was going on. So it's going to be really important for these coaches tonight and even tomorrow. And tomorrow's a little different story because Springfield's just there last year. So they know what to expect. They just now are just pissed because they're like, of what happened last year. JFK, these guys got to settle down a little bit. The coaches, it's going to be really important on them to say, hey, listen, guys, do what you need to do. One play at a time, do your job, and we will walk out of here victorious as long as we do our job. And for the Valley, I mean, it's unbelievable. The one thing I will say that, Poe hit on the head today on his show was that you talk about rivalries and teams, this is our day battle. But when you see a team keep going, you root for them. Last week we had 5 teams playing for regional championships with a chance to get here, and everybody wanted to see them all win. We get 2 of them. Now everybody's on those 2 boats. Let's go. Push these guys forward. Get them there, because the Mahoning Valley, like everybody was talking about, is a very proud town and valley of our high school sports and our kids. And you want to bring those state titles back no matter where you're from. I mean, the Tri-County area, we want to see everybody win. We want to bring those titles back to say, hey, listen, we can compete with anybody in the state, nose to nose, and we're going to win.
McNuggies, how do you feel about this particular game? Jeff Bezos, Fly Eagles Fly, yatta boy JB. Go Tigers tomorrow, yes sir. Nick, McNuggies. I mean, you've been around your dad, who's been around some big games, and talk to me about if you're in the shoes of a student athlete with a state semifinal on the line. How are you acting? How are you trying to kind of calm yourself? What are you going through?
I don't know how I'm going to try to calm myself. The adrenaline, I got to imagine it's just running right through everybody that's on this team, coaches, players. I don't know if I would calm myself down, because there is that standpoint of, treat it like another game, get down to the fundamentals and win it that way. But then again, you're treating it like it's not a different game. Sometimes you can't just sugarcoat it because the adrenaline's running and you're trying to treat it like another game, and then you might be trying to overdo things in that sense. So I really don't know how I'd approach this game, to be quite honest with you. And again, as just a YSN person and an outside fan, I'm super excited for this game. Obviously, JFK's played phenomenal football all year. Same thing for the Springfield Tigers. JFK looking to repeat 2016, and Springfield looking to get revenge from just a year ago. So, everybody said it at the Youngstown area is super excited for these 2 teams.
Richie, what's your analysis of JFK tonight? What do they have to do to win this ballgame?
Well, I think they got to stick to their game plan, first of all. They come in here as the favorites. I mean, Newark Catholic is a team that has 3 losses this year. They pulled off some major upsets getting into the state playoffs in the first place. So on paper and on their schedule, they're the better team tonight. So I think they got to stick to their game plan and, don't play down to the competition. I think they got the road to the state final.
Living legend, it's Anthony Romo. Romo, what do you got? And what would your call be if you were calling a team into the state championship?
First off, adrenaline is still rushing through my body from last Saturday. Just gets me pumped up every time you bring it up. But just touch on what everyone else said, everyone around the Valley just gets so pumped up every time any team from around here does well. Youngstown has that grit. Everyone knows how hard that team worked to get into this position. And for JFK tonight, I think it's just going to be the Cam Hollabaugh show. He showed out so well this season, almost every game, putting that team on his back, and I think he's just going to have another one of those great performances tonight and lead JFK into state championship next Friday at 2:00.
I'm going to put this up to anybody on the panel. How important is defense tonight? And I'm talking fundamental defense, stay in your lanes, stick to your assignments. How important is that tonight for Warren JFK as they take on the Green Wave?
Huge. It's huge. I mean, you don't want to get out there and get into a track meet with somebody. You want to kind of establish that defense and hold somebody. You want to get out to a lead, or if you kick off first, that first set of downs is going to be huge. Stop them, get a 3 and out. You get the ball back, and if you can dominate and get a score first, make them play catch up to you. That's going to be the big thing you can do. If not, you get into a track meet, or if they score first, now you're playing from behind. Right?
Yeah,
the defense is going to be big.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Paul. And Quinn and I saw this firsthand at Chardon with Canfield. Chardon gets that early score, and it was all defense from there. I mean, you talk about 2 interceptions for Chardon, a fumble recovery, and the game's over. So defense certainly does win championships once you get to this point in the region as well as the state. So I think if JFK is able to force a couple of turnovers, I think the game's going to go their way.
Another question I have for you guys: how important is it to have the first score of the ball game? Ty, looking at you watched a lot of Fitch this year. A lot of times they deferred. Is there an advantage in a playoff situation to scoring first?
Oh, absolutely. There's an advantage in scoring first. It changes the whole mentality of the game, because I mean that first drive, you're kind of feeling each other out, right? And unless you've played each other this year, I mean, last year you can't really go off of it. You can watch as much tape as you want. There's a difference when you get to in-game scenarios. So when you got that first drive, that very first drive of the game, you have that advantage of the team doesn't really know what to expect from you or what they're actually going to get because they haven't played on field with you. So you have that chance to go out there and get an early score with it. But also to Fitch's advantage, I mean, deferring also, it depends on the defense too. So if JFK elects to defer here and they can hold that first drive, you get that ball outside of the outside to start the second half, and you can run it up with a 2-for-1 score to end the first half and going into the second half, which is a strategy we saw Fitch use a lot this year, and it could be a strategy that we see as effective tonight too with JFK.
Mac, you win the coin toss. You taking the ball? You defer into the second half tonight?
If I'm Kennedy, I'd rather defer. I trust that defense among anybody's defense outside of maybe Canfield defense. And they're going to get a couple stops tonight. They're going to get plenty of stops tonight. So I would trust my defense to do well and then get the ball at half and kind of go. But getting that ball at half, there's something about, coming in that locker room, talking about it, and then going out, already knowing how the guy in front of you is playing, and then just go out there and execute in that second half. And they've been crazy explosive offensively. So points, I don't think they're really too worried about getting, having enough points. But defensively, let's see if they can get a couple stops early.
They haven't been in a track meet since the Louisville game, right? I mean, looking back on it, but they can win that game and put up some points. They put up 60, 50, something like that.
Yeah, 60-something.
Yeah, so you look at that. I mean, they can put up some points in a hurry. So my question, Jamie, would be if you have the opportunity, do you want this to be a track meet, or do you want to rely on your defense and have a low-scoring game? And I guess on top of that, if it's a low-scoring game, or if it's a high-scoring game, does the same team have the advantage in Warren JFK?
Well, I'm a little biased here because I am a defensive guy. I love defense. I always have been. So I want it to be a low-scoring game. I want my defense to come out and really dominate and just hold the offense. But, with JFK, they have the ability to be able to win in a shootout or be able to just put up 10 points and still be able to win the game. I mean, it's just one of those things that you really love to see when you have a great offense and a great defense. We had that my senior year, and Newark Catholic, they're kind of in the same boat. I mean, they won last week against Shadyside. We won 10-7. So I think JFK, obviously, you do want to have to put up a lot of points and put that defense in kind of a bind.
So I'm really interested in how things shake out tonight. We interviewed Gabe Green earlier this week, as well as Cam Hollabaugh, and the three amigos, Hollabaugh, Green, and Jesse Likens. And we talk about all the time Cam Hollabaugh naturally because he plays every position, and he is the heartbeat of that offense. And then you have Jesse Likens, which is the lightning of this JFK offense and stellar on defense as well. The wild card is going to be Gabe Green on the outside. If it turns into a passing game, Gabe Green, look for him, number 30. He'll be wearing probably the pink undershirt underneath his blue or white jersey, whatever they choose tonight. You're going to see him take over the ball game. He had a big catch last week. Look for him, if it turns into a passing game, to take over this ball game, because I don't think that Newark can handle all three, the three-headed monster that is Warren JFK. If it turns into a passing game, is it advantage for Newark, or do you think that they're just going to focus on one of the three players? Quinn?
That's tough. I mean, if you're going to focus on one, you got to focus on Cam, right?
I would think so, but the last couple of weeks they focused on Jesse Likens.
That's true too. I mean, it's tough to focus on just one of them. They're, like you said, they're a three-headed monster. I mean, no matter what way you look at it, I mean, they're good. They're just a damn good football team, and I don't think you can just focus on anybody, to be honest with you.
Billy, if this was your game, are you throwing in a couple wrinkles right off the jump to throw Newark kind of off balance?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just, the kids are nervous, and they're kids. You got to remember, they're 17, 18-year-old, 16-year-old kids out there. So if you're going to get them early, sneak a little reverse or something, maybe just an easy screenplay just to get these guys over pursuing early is definitely a good idea, I think.
If you're watching this game tonight and you're listening to our audio, what I want you to focus in on is number 58, Eddie Kiernan. Watch how fast he gets off of the edge. I mean, it is the only comparable thing I have in comparison is TJ Watt, because how fast he gets off of that edge, he closes the one side, so they run away from him the entire game because he's already in the backfield. Watch number 58. It'll be interesting to see how Newark battles with whatever side Kiernan's on, and see if
Myles Garrett, not TJ Watt.
I didn't stutter. Maybe I did a little bit. I said JJ to start off with, but no. If you watch, if he ends up being Myles Garrett tonight, then Newark probably wins.
Oh, leave the NFL in second. Okay.
Cute. Well, he's got enough chances because the defense on the field enough. So, on top of that, you have the other guys. I mean, this is the Blue Storm. And I don't know if you'll hear Spectrum refer to him as the Blue Storm. That's the defense of, sounds like a guy I know, DJ. Yes, it does. Mr. Trojan himself. And if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out on our social media. Really cool write-up by Cody from Sebring, or of Cody from Sebring. Great kid. But yes, I agree with you, Coach. Here's my thing, is getting back on track. I think it's going to be someone on defense that we have not called their name a whole lot this year, because they're going to be running away from 58 all night. So watch for that. If you're watching the feed on Spectrum, listen for that. If you're listening to the free broadcast on YSN, and of course we want to hear your questions, concerns, and your excitement about this game in the chat box. We're going to take a quick break and come back. We're going to talk about Springfield, because there's no game tomorrow. We will have there is no Power Hour tomorrow. There will be a game, obviously, that we will talk about here in just a little bit. I'm at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, and I'm completely all over the place. So, Quinn, get me out of here, get us to break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours.
Power
Because
Hour.
21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is here, so it's all hands on deck to make sure your plan still meets your needs for 2020.
Call us today.
Are we back yet? We're good? All right.
Yeah, we're back.
Welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. Quinn's on the controls. It's like Geordie LaForge in the Enterprise. Blind guy is leading the ship. So there's Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
There we go. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Good job.
All right, guys. There is another game that's going to happen tomorrow. As my mom chimed in, happy birthday, Quinn. You share a birthday with her nephew, Alex. Yes, my cousin, Alex. Happy birthday, Alex. He'll get a shout-out during the game tonight as well. But, hey, why not here as well? Happy birthday, big guy. We're all proud of you. We love you. So, yeah, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Good heads up. It's what happens when you have a kid run the board who doesn't really want to do it. So, happy birthday, Quinn. Again, for the 800th time.
He loved me doing it the other day. So,
there's a game going on tomorrow. Anybody want to talk about it? Jamie, Anthony, maybe? Who wants to lead off?
I'll go ahead and lead off. I feel like I usually do. I used to be the leadoff hitter, so I got this one.
Attaboy.
Yeah, Springfield taking on Fort Fry out of Beverly, Ohio. Honestly, nobody really knows much about them. I got in contact with the athletic director and their head coach, Eric Huck, just to try and get some background because I took a look at this team at first. They beat Barnesville, who played Beaver Local and Edison. Now, those are two teams who never even thought of playing Springfield, so really couldn't get much from there. But Fort Fry's rise to the state finals can really be accredited to Eric Huck. This guy's a great coach, 109 wins in 11 seasons as head coach. And obviously, as any great coach would, he accredits all his success to his kids. From 4 wins in their first 3 seasons to now their first postseason victory in school history just a couple years ago in their 9th playoff berth. Expectations have continued to rise. These guys have 4 players with over 400 yards rushing. Talked about at the beginning of the week. They like to run the wing tee. They're pretty big up front. They average 6'3" and 230 pounds. So Fort Fry's going to look to pound the Tigers into submission. Now, if I'm being honest, that's just a professional background on them. So I'm just going to give you the true thoughts on the game here. Right? These guys haven't faced a good team all season long. And if you ask anybody from Beverly, it's because everyone's scared to play. When people are scared to play here in the Youngstown area, you get a tough schedule like Moon. You get a tough schedule like Ursuline, a tough schedule like South Range. You got to face up. You got to face above your level. You got to go actually play people. So I don't know what this argument is about. Oh, these guys are scared to play us. Go find someone that's actually worth your time. Yeah, these guys rolled through last round. They beat the absolute snot out of Fairlands. But to be honest, Fairland looked like they got off 2 weeks of quarantine. This team was not good at all. They're lazy getting off the ball. Their eyes were in the backfield. So that win absolutely does nothing for me. These guys from Springfield are hard-nosed. They're hard-working. They're willing to do whatever it takes to win this game. Sean Guerrero is going to have his guys ready for tomorrow night. I fully expect Springfield to be ready, and don't be surprised if the Tigers win by 30 points.
Wow, I don't know how to follow that one up. But just to add a little bit more on Fort Fry, coming into this game, they're averaging 37.1 points per game on the season. They've never been to a state championship before. And something interesting, they've only given up 58 points this year. That's according to Max Preps. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yes.
They've only given up 58 points this year, and just last week, Springfield put 52 up on the board on Norway. Then the Tigers coming in. I mean, everyone knows we're gonna look to see the Bo Brungard show yet again. Brungard coming in this week with 38 total touchdowns on the year on 2,447 total yards, 18 passing touchdowns, 19 on the ground, 1 receiving coming last week. Springfield, fun fact, they are the first Valley school to win back-to-back regional titles since Ursuline won 4 straight from 2007 to 2010, and they are the first public school to win back-to-back regional titles since Camo did it way back in 1989 and 1990. But yeah, as Jamie said, we had kind of looked at this Fort Fry team over the week, and Jamie sent me the highlights of their game last week, and I mean, that team they played was not good at all. Like, if Springfield or Norwayne played that team, the running clock would be implemented right at the beginning of the second half. You may call us cocky. I just call us confident in this Springfield ball club. Springfield coming off of that huge win last week on the famous play call Boilermaker, which you would learn that play call if you watched Steve Leslie's Coach's Corner with Sean Guerrero from last night. Coach Guerrero gave us some great insight about this week's matchup and gave us some behind-the-scenes stuff on last week's matchup. But, yeah. Oh, one more thing to touch on. How about this Fort Fry team? 2016, they lost in the regional final to Newark Catholic at Zanesville, where the game will be played tomorrow night. Fort Fry is 43-4 since that loss. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow night. Jamie and I will be on the call, and we can't wait.
Wow. How about that insight? Holy cow.
I got to agree with you guys. I was just reading Coach Seidel's thing here.
He's stopped mid-thought.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't know what happened.
That was a hot take, Paul.
Great one.
But no, Springfield is, they're on a mission, and they've got a great team. And I firmly believe that last week was the big game for a lot of teams in the regional, thinking that was going to be probably the toughest team they were going to face. You know, again, being a Homer South Range, I knew Kirtland was going to be the toughest game they were going to see. Norwayne was going to be the toughest game Springfield was going to see. And now they get this Fort Fry. And I think they've got a little, I know it sounds weird, but I think they got a little chip on their shoulder. I mean, they've got to drive 2.5 hours, and that's only by car. By a bus, you're probably looking at a 3-hour drive down to Zanesville. Fort Fry's got about a 45, 50-minute drive to get there. I think they're feeling a little slighted. Like, you couldn't have got this game a little closer to us. You know, we're the defending runner-ups in the state, and, you know, we're the number 1 seed, and we have to drive the furthest. So I think they're going to go down there. And then I talked to him the other day, and he has some friends down there near that Fort Fry area, and he said that Fort Fry is going to get housed. He said that Springfield's going to go in there and put it to them. So, and I believe they are. I've known Sean and I've known Mark for a long time, and you know, they're going to get those kids ready to go and say, listen, you've got something to prove. We left meat on the table last year. It's our chance to go get it. Let's go get it.
I think the interesting thing too about Springfield, and I think like watching them all year, no matter what the competition is, they don't play up or down. They play at a steady pace. So it does not matter who their opponent is. There's always that respect. We're going to go in. We're going to treat this like we're going to be world beaters, and we're just going to go out there and do our thing. It's never like they never take a team less serious than the next team. It's always the same mentality going into every game. And I think that's what's really set Springfield apart from other teams this year is that it's always that same mentality. Like, we're just going to go out there and win. It doesn't matter what the competition is in front of us. You know, we're going to treat them as serious as the guy before us, the guy after us, and we're just going to go out there and do our thing. And looking forward to that game tomorrow. You got what this guy and this guy down here. They're going to have a great call for you on YSN. So be sure to tune in for that free broadcast. It's going to be a hell of a game.
Question for you guys. Oh, sorry. Good.
That's one of the reasons, I wasn't afraid to come out and say that Springfield could win by 30 because I know that they're always going to show up and play to that same level. I mean, I'm always trying to build up these games. I'm like a boxing promoter. You got to make it seem like it's going to be, just all this action. But Springfield is that good, and they are going to show up, whether they're playing East Palestine or they're playing freaking Austintown Fitch. It's the same exact team. No shade on East Palestine. Love the Bulldogs.
No.
Mac, shut up.
All right, I'll touch on something real quick.
Go ahead, Richie.
Sorry, DJ. Basically, what I was going to say is I know we talked about all the positives from Springfield, but I think one challenge they might have coming into this game is that wing T offense. It's an offense that not a lot of teams around this area run, and nobody sees it on the defensive side. And one thing you mentioned, Jamie, real quick, is that their line is big. Now, that's a key with the wing T offense. They like to pull guards. They got 4 or 5 guys that block into the secondary, and it's a deceiving offense. I mean, there's sometimes where you're going to be calling the game. You don't know who has the ball. They run so many misdirections. They run jet sweeps. They run so much that the defense hasn't seen before. So I think that is a challenge for Springfield coming into this game, and they have to do a lot of prep work throughout this week to be able to prepare for a wing T offense that could be really high powered.
Yeah, I was just going to –
Dang it.
No, well, your camera's on there. I don't know if you're about to talk or not.
Go ahead. It's you guys.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that and say I'm going to try my best tomorrow night, but I know Jamie and I have seen some wing T offenses twice this year, I want to say. Whoever played Camel when we announced their game had the wing T, as well as Geneva against our Hubbard Eagles in the playoffs. So it gets a little bit tricky sometimes from our view up in the press box, but I'm going to try my best to get those numbers down early and see this team.
When Coach Guerrero talked last night, he talked to Steve, obviously.
Springfield coaches.
Cut him off mid-thought.
I'm out.
A lot of those Springfield coaches, they've seen it in the past because a lot of the teams in the old ICL, McDonald was one of them, South Range was one of them. They used to love running the wing T. So, Brungard's seen it in his past, and a lot of those guys, they're used to it. So I think that's going to help them out.
You don't get used to the wing T, man. You just don't. All right. I mean, it's just that simple. Unless you're planning week to week, preparing for it week to week, that's getting used to it. Seeing it every once in a while, every couple of years, that's a whole different thing. I mean, this offense is to create chaos, to get you flowing, and to come back and counter, and then the trap, and then to get guys in misdirection. I mean, unless you're used to seeing an offense week to week, I mean, getting used to it's not probably the right word. I think familiar with it, understanding how it works, that might be the one thing, but seeing it live in action, I mean, when you're taught to watch, follow guards, and guards are going this way, and then the ball's going the complete opposite way, that's a whole different thing there.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, DJ.
All right. So here's my thing, is we're talking a lot about the other side. We're talking a lot about Fort Fry and the wing T, but they still have to beat Springfield. They still have to beat the Tigers, and nobody has done that yet this year, and there's a reason for that. I mean, you look at last week's game, Springfield will still have the biggest stones on that field. And as long as you've got a guy in Bo Brungard, as long as you've got that offensive line that is outstanding no matter who they're put against, I think you not only have a chance, but have the champion's advantage. And this time Springfield comes back and the stage isn't too bright for them. I think there's a lot of people that thought, okay, Springfield made it there last year. That was a win by itself. And there's a lot of people that feel like Paul said, there's a lot of meat left on the bone, and they're going to take a big bite out of it this week and then head back to Columbus and try to finish the job. And the whole motto for Springfield this year is let them know. Let them know that wasn't a one and done. And tomorrow we're going to find out that Springfield is the real deal. I don't know if they win by 40, if they win by 1, but I know that they win because the confidence that Sean Guerrero has, and they've got it. I don't know if they have the wing T figured out, but they know that the other side has to play that Springfield defense that has been stingy all year long. So let's see it.
Well, I think what's great about is we talked about it yesterday a little bit, is getting guys out of their comfort zone. I think Springfield is way more than capable of doing that. I mean, the one thing you don't want to do in a wing T is throw the ball downfield. So when you're up 2 scores, I mean, you're in the driver's seat, right? So, and that's something that Springfield, they showed last week. They're going to put up points, and sometimes in a hurry. So wing T is not an up-tempo where you're going to be putting up points left and right, and you're especially not going to put up points left and right outside of last week, which was, to me, it seemed more like a fluke for the year against Springfield's defense.
Would you suggest that wing T would be best utilized by teams that aren't really strong all the way around? Because that seems to be the MO of teams that utilize the wing T.
I would say it's more of a you don't have skilled players, or maybe even like a skilled quarterback where you can't read and react, like running a read option like the traditional spread that most teams run,
or a good passing team.
Yeah, I mean, or a good passing team. You can't throw the ball down the field, but I mean, a lot of teams in Northeast Ohio can't throw the ball down the field. But it's more of a clock management. It's almost like it's equivalent to like when we played back in the day as that stack high. You know, you want to control the ground game, kind of keep moving the football, create a little chaos. Maybe a big play is going to be a jet sweep or counter. So
it's a lot of misdirection, is it not? Wing T.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, good. All right. When I talked to Coach Hawk, he said this is something that, he implemented 12 years ago when he came in, and he felt that they needed more misdirection in the offense, as you guys have all said, and he had to get more players involved. So I don't know whether that was just maybe a lack of school athleticism or just kind of like a hard-nosed thing. He said he played it when he was in high school. So this very well may be just a long-standing tradition throughout Fort Fry.
So if you're doing the wing T, there's a lot of misdirection, obviously, as I've already alluded to. So stack them up. If you got Springfield's game and they can execute, can they dodge the wing T bullet, so to speak, against Fort Fry?
I think there's no doubt about it. Springfield has been tremendous against stopping the run. Besides that one game last week against Norway, who had a running back that was 6'2", about 250 pounds, just a pure athlete who was also humongous. They've been very good against stopping the run. The one thing has been the secondary. Fort Fry can't do that. Springfield has a great defense. I fully expect them to be able to stop the wing T. And like Coach Seidel said, it's all about cross keys and discipline. When you watch Fort Fry's last game, the opponent they faced was not disciplined at all. All you have to do is do your job, read your keys. Don't get lost in the backfield.
So here's a question I have.
I think this comes back to something we talked about. Obviously I must be on a delay because
obviously
you guys start talking and then somebody else talks. So yeah, but like going back to, do you want to score first? I think if Springfield gets a chance, they want to score first, because if Fort Fry gets it and they're able to drive down the field and really eat up a lot of clock, then them scoring first. If Fort Fry scores first, then you've got to come back now knowing that by the time they get the ball, you're just going to be on a just slow grind.
We just hit that up a minute ago.
Paul, are you on yesterday's show right now? Is it like
I
a
got
day
cut
delay?
off at one point. Quinn knows he had to bring me back in the show.
Oh, there's nothing like that Raider Air internet.
I think the more people we get on this show, the worse our internet is.
We can fix that, Paul. Here's my question for you guys. Jamie, Romo, there was a lot of people that said that Springfield left a lot on the field last week, being up and then going down at the end there and then having to utilize the Boilermaker. Talk to me about, you've watched this team a couple times now, a few times, and now you're the voice of the Tigers. Do you think they can do that against Fort Fry?
I think there's no doubt about it. You could say, Springfield left a lot out there, but they honestly gave it their all. And I think just the adversity that they faced last week is something that's going to kind of propel them through these last 2 weeks. Yeah, Fort Fry, they're not going to be a pushover if they come out and punch them out, but the opponent next week they might face in Coldwater should be. It was great that they had a tough game in the regional final, that they didn't just steam through them by 42 points, because as we kind of talked about, they don't have that world beater mentality as it is, but that's kind of a wake-up call. Although they didn't lose, because you can at this point, that's a wake-up call that kind of lets you know, hey, we're at the point of the season where everybody is good, so we got to play our best game. And they damn near did. And Norway had to put out their best game in Springfield.
So let me ask you this. If the wing T shut down, does it make Fort Fry one-dimensional and force them into what Springfield probably hopes is a passing matchup?
I mean, they're screwed then.
Yeah. Like Billy said,
yeah.
They would be screwed because they're going to have to find something else to do that they haven't had to do for the first 10 weeks of the season. And while you could practice it, throughout the year, it's nothing like game experience.
So in that case, we talked about JFK wanting their defense on the field first. If you're Springfield, do you want your offense on the field first? So that way you always have that 7-point advantage if you can score the first trip down?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you're Springfield, you just want to set that tone early.
Everybody laughed at?
If you're Springfield, you just want to set that tone early because, like last week, they scored in what? It was like, was that last week, Jamie? They scored in like 8 seconds, 7 or 8
plays,
seconds.
it was about 12
plays.
seconds.
Springfield got on the board just like that, and that was a big punch in the mouth for Norway. And I mean, they ended up coming back. Springfield got a double-digit lead, but playing in front's always a good thing. It's never a bad thing. And I think if Springfield can get 2 early touchdowns on the board, like I said, Fort Fry's only given up 58 points this year. They haven't faced a lot of adversity either. And Springfield's already taken that blow, and we've seen how they answered. And I think they got this week.
To go against that, go on, DJ. If you want to go, you're good.
Nope.
To go against your thought, though, to Romo's point, yeah, as long as you're scoring, you take the ball first. If it becomes a defensive game, though, like we said, you can sometimes defer. And the only thing I could really compare this to is that Austintown Warren Harding matchup, that playoff matchup, because Austintown's fairly similar in their passing attack, right? And that was one of the first games of the year where they actually had to take the ball instead of defer it. And I mean, you look at it, they go into the locker room up 10-0, and it's probably a different game than had the Austintown gotten the ball out of the second half rather than Warren Harding, because Warren Harding was able to put up that score out of the second half, and then all the momentum is theirs in the second half. So it's honestly it comes down to the strategy. If Springfield is able to jump on them early, get out the box, 2 scores right out the gate, yeah, take the ball first. But I mean, also, it is nice coming out of that half. That way you have that first half to analyze. Let's see what's happened in this game. Maybe the wing tee's working against us, but we get the ball coming out the second half. So let's put up a score real quick, and let's start the second half with some momentum. And also, we might have a chance to get the ball towards the end of the first half and have a 2-for-1 going in first half to second half.
All right, so it's time to pick 'em, boys. And to do it a little bit differently, since this doesn't count for anything, Jamie is our champion, right? So congratulations to Jamie. He's got the King's crown on. What we're going to do is we're going to pick the team that we expect to win, and we're going to say why. There's going to be one reason you expect them to win. So we're going to start with the Warren JFK game because it is tonight. We'll start with Paul Munson down before he can cut anybody off.
All right. JFK, I'm pulling for JFK. Obviously, I think they're the better team, and they're going to win. And my reason for them to win is their athleticism.
All right, Romo.
I'm going to go with Warren JFK in just 2 words. Cam Hollabaugh.
Let's go to Richie Giuliano.
Yeah, I'm going to go JFK simply, I think, because of the better team on paper and because they got the 3-headed monster that's going to be really difficult to stop tonight.
Jamie.
I mean, I'm with Romo, Cam Hollabaugh, and JFK. And to kind of put a different spin on it, kind of like Paul said, they are the better team. And I don't think Nora Catholic, they really don't feel like a state semifinal team compared to this JFK unit.
All right, Ty, you're up.
JFK, Lightning.
Let's go over to McNuggies.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. Anthony Romo, word for word, took my exact reason. Cam Hollabaugh, that's all I was going to say, not going to lie. But, you talk about trying to contain one of those guys on offense for JFK. Even if you contain one, you got 2 others that you got to worry about. You can't contain all 3 at the same time, and for that reason, the Eagles are going to win handily.
Mac.
JFK, team defense.
All right, and Quinn.
JFK. They're just better. They're just a purely better football team in all aspects of the game.
So I think Romo gave 2 words. I'm going to give 3 words. JFK, team of destiny. So give me JFK. It's going to be a fun call tonight. I'm excited for it, naturally, because I'm here at freaking noon, because I thought that it was 2 hours away. Massive, not 2 hours away. It's like a buck and change. So nice job, DJ Yokley. All right, let's go to Springfield. I am taking the Tigers because, we talked about JFK, team of destiny. I think the Tigers are a team of hunger, and Tigers love pepper. They hate cinnamon, and they hate losing. That's why I think they win. Quinn.
Oh, sorry, zoned out. My bad. Springfield. I'm gonna go passing. They just pass better. I think if they get into a situation where they're gonna pass, nobody's gonna stop them.
Mac.
I don't have any fun play on words or anything here, but their offense, Springfield, obviously, and their offense is undeniable.
All right, McNuggies.
I mean, I'm going to go with Springfield here. I had the pleasure of watching them earlier in the season, week 3, their game against McDonald. And you talk about the wing T offense. Oh, my God, I can't even talk. But I feel like if there's one defense in the Valley to defend the wing T offense well enough to win a game by 30-plus against a team in the, state semifinal, it's going to be the Springfield Tiger team. They're going to take this one, like Jamie said, 30-plus.
All right, Ty.
To use one of DJ Yoakley's calls, put a reservation under Springfield for the state championship under the name Brungard, because that's going to be the difference maker tonight.
Love it. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Otherwise,
Way
we're in big trouble.
Way to screw it up, Ty.
Yeah, yeah.
Screwed it up.
Jamie.
I mean, yeah, of course I'm going to go with Springfield here. I already said they're going to win by 30-plus, but honestly, my reason is Bo Brungard. I kind of talked about this with Romo on our drive home. You know, obviously, D6, it's not like Division II. I want to see Bo Brungard at like a fit for just one game so I could see him face all this top talent because he makes these kids literally look like it's a Little League game. Nobody from Norway could freaking tackle him. I haven't seen anybody actually try and put a good attempt on him. He's that shifty. He's that strong. He's that fast.
Lamar Jackson is actually his likeness is what he compared himself to, and I can see it. I just think he's a little bit stronger than Jackson. So let's go to who do we have down there? Is that Richie? Sorry, I'm trying to charge my phone and do it at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Springfield here as well. I think it's going to be because Springfield's going to come out. They're going to get that early lead against Fort Fry. And Fort Fry, who hasn't been in a close game all year long, is going to freak out. They're going to have no idea what to do, and they're going to be rattled. So I think they're going to have to adjust from that wing T, and they're going to be forced to throw the ball late in that second half, early in the first half as well. So I think it's just going to be a Springfield win.
Romo.
I'm going to have Springfield tonight. And to touch on what Nick said about Bo being so intelligent, he's right. Bo Brungard hasn't really made that many mistakes this year. He only has one turnover on the year. It was an interception against St. Thomas Aquinas. That interception, Springfield was up by like 30 points. That was in garbage time. It was on a screen pass. It was a broken play. He just had to get rid of the ball, and it just happened to fall in the arms of St. Thomas Aquinas. But, yeah, that's what's really made him so good is that he doesn't really make that many mistakes. He goes through his reads, finds the open guy, or he'll just break out of the pocket and scramble. He had 7 touchdowns last week, 5 on the ground, 1 through the air, 1 receiving. I just think he's going to be the big difference maker. Like someone had said, he's going to be the difference maker tonight. I'm going to take Springfield by a lot. Tomorrow
Love
night,
it.
Springfield by a lot.
Muncie, bring us home.
So, yeah, like Beto said on there'll be a bunch of guys down at Tiger's Table in New Middletown. So, go down there. You want to see Jeff Betos and hang out with him. He'll be down there. But
God help you.
Yeah, I'm going to take Springfield. And my reason is unfinished business. I think they have some unfinished business to do, and they want to get back there and win themselves a state title and bring it home. So everybody knows I'm a Raider, but I'll be pulling for those guys tomorrow. So, again, like I said, Sean and Mark are some friends, and I'd like to see them get a ring. So Mark's got a couple from YSU, but it'd be nice to see them get one as high school coaches.
He was a little part of that championship. All right, let's go to the G. Burbank Farms. What's your beef? Each and every. Jeez, oh man, Paul. Let's go to G. Burbank Farms. What's your beef? Brought to you by G. Burbank Farms. Their family's farm. Your family's.
Hey, we going to a beef?
I hate you all. Each and every one of you guys, I hate your guts. I hate you. Let's go.
Is it beef time yet?
Oh my God. Yes, Paul, lead us off. It's your beef.
All right, let's go. Who's first?
Man, you're still delayed.
He's messing with us now. That's
Yeah,
it has
I
to
don't
be.
know.
He's messing with us.
Whatever the hell this delay is that's going on now, it sucks. Pisses me off. It only seems to happen when we get 9 or more people on the show, and I don't know what's going on.
It's
So
only
whether
you.
it's my equipment or not, I'm using my phone because I don't have a laptop to do it with. So, I'm always relying on my phone for this. So maybe it's my phone. I don't know. But that's part of my beef. And then my other beef is whenever I go to the store to buy these supplies, I can never find Lipton Brisk iced tea in the cube. Kids love it. Can't find it. Pisses me off.
Man, when that's in stock, it's the hot commodity at the study hall supermarket at South Range High School.
Oh my gosh, Romo, go.
I don't have any beef today. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that. Well, I guess my only beef is just that there's no more Valley teams left to play. I mean, we had such a good run with football this year. It's just unfortunate that we had a couple of teams get defeated last week. But Warren, JFK, and Springfield. Let's hope we can bring home 2 state championships to the Valley.
Bring home the big trophy. Richie, what do you got?
I think my beef is that us Youngstown State students after Thanksgiving are all online. And it's really disappointing. It sucks. I have 3 classes that are in person, and I absolutely love it. Being online for me is just not fun. I'm not a good online learner, you could say, and I tend to not get much out of my classes when they're online. So I guess I'm just upset now that I have to leave campus and do everything remote.
Jamie.
I mean, I completely agree with Richie on that one. Online hasn't done a damn thing for me. I'm not sure if I've learned anything this semester. But also, I guess I could say the wing tee was phased out for a reason. So there you go. And also, if you're watching the show, whoever was in front of me on the highway yesterday and decided to brake check me, you can come find me because I swear to God, I got something for you. You want to brake check me when I'm going 65 miles an hour? You're in the left lane. Get out of the left lane or
It was probably Paul.
You got another sandwich waiting for you.
It was probably Paul.
I was sitting there at the light. I was sitting there at the light, and he was back there, and I almost got out of my car and ripped him out of his freaking GMC.
If only DJ could cue Jamie's prop from a couple weeks ago. Would have been perfect timing, but not today.
Ty, what's your beef?
My beef is anyone that's not rallying behind JFK and Springfield this weekend. Man, we got a chance to bring home 2 titles to the Youngstown area. So, man, fly Eagles fly, and we're gonna have a new king of the jungle with the Tigers. Man, rally around them. Here we go.
I love that comment by Coach Seidel. There's a squirrel. All right, so let's go to McNuggies. What do you got?
All right, so I'm coming home from school, right?
Oh boy.
So there's nobody here. My dad has to stay there after for about an hour, administrative stuff, and my mom and my brother are up in Cleveland. He's getting his ankle checked out so that he can get cleared to play basketball. All's fine and good. I get there. The front door's locked. The garage door is shut, and I have no way to get into the house. I had to find my way through the woods to a back fence, climb over it to get into a back door in my house that was, thank God, unlocked. I thought I was legit locked out for a solid 2 hours.
Oh boy, Mac.
Yeah, first thing I want to do is I want to wish JFK good luck, and also Springfield good luck this weekend. My beef is I'm sitting here on Walmart all day yesterday at 12:03, even while I was on the show, and I'm sure some of you do that. 6 and 9, and I'm trying to get a PS5, and all of a sudden, as soon as it clicks over to 3 o'clock, everything freezes. So I got nowhere for a PS5 yesterday. That's my beef.
Birthday boy.
Whoa, look at Jamie flexing.
Remember when he said come find him?
Yep. Pick me up, Mac. I'm coming with you. Okay. I got 3 things. One, my beef's with Jamie now because of that.
Yep.
I don't like you because of that. My second one is I got power today, DJ. So bye.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I don't got any beef. I just want to say thank you guys all for all the birthday wishes. It means a lot to me. I'm glad to be a part of the family and everything, and I'm glad to be able to meet all you guys finally.
Well, now I got some beef, I guess, because the only thing you know how to do really well is get people off this show. So congratulations.
That's going to wrap it up for the Power Hour.
Take us home, Quinn.
Coming back eventually. All right. Well, I guess DJ's gone. Okay, I'll end it. Thank you for tuning into the Power Hour. It was great to see all you guys. As always, good luck JFK. Good luck Springfield. And
Tune in tonight.
Yeah, tune in to DJ tonight, and you'll get the fine gentleman of Jamie and Romo tomorrow for the Springfield game. See you guys.
He's standing right there.
Oh my God.
What's up? I'm back in command, baby.
I thought we were going to be.
I thought so too. I was like, how are we going to
Go Eagles, go Tigers. Let's bring home another win and take us another step towards that state championship. YSN tonight. It's all free. Tune in tonight. Tune in tomorrow. We'll see you guys all on Monday.